Not long ago, I tried an experiment that raised more than a few eyebrows. Instead of hauling compost, buying fertilizers, or breaking my back with endless tilling, I buried cardboard right into one of my backyard beds. At first glance, that sounds like a strange thing to do. After all, cardboard is just packaging waste. But what happened over the following weeks and months was a lesson straight out of both old farming wisdom and modern soil science. This simple act transformed my garden bed in ways no store-bought soil amendment ever has. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because what I learned from this experiment could save you time, money and sweat while giving your soil exactly what it needs. The soil quickly welcomed the cardboard as food. Within just a few weeks, I noticed something remarkable. The soil above the buried cardboard began to settle and darken, almost as though it was breathing differently. Earthworms appeared in greater numbers, leaving their castings in plain sight. What was happening beneath the surface was a banquet. The cellulose in the cardboard acted as a slow-release food source for fungi and soil microbes, while the glue and fillers, so long as the cardboard was plain brown, not glossy or printed, provided additional organic matter. These tiny workers broke the cardboard down and, in doing so, aerated and enriched the soil. If you try this at home, always strip away tape, staples and coloured inks. Stick with plain corrugated cardboard, tear it into manageable sections and bury it 6 to 8 inches deep. This gives soil life a clean meal without the contaminants. The fungi took over and began colonizing fast. One of the most striking parts of this experiment was how quickly fungal networks formed. Within a month, lifting the soil near the cardboard revealed fine, white threads spreading across the buried layers. These mycelial webs are nature's internet, transporting nutrients across the soil and linking plant roots into a wider network of exchange. Fungi thrive on carbon-rich materials, and cardboard is about as carbon-rich as you can get. In historical terms, this is nothing new. Old-timers used brush, straw, or even rotting logs in their gardens for the same effect, feeding fungi to balance the soil's ecosystem. Cardboard simply provides a modern, accessible substitute for those who don't have access to rotting timber or straw bales. The bed structure improved without backbreaking tilling. Over the season, I noticed the soil that once clumped like clay began to crumble more easily. Water soaked in instead of pooling, and roots dug deeper without resistance. The cardboard acted as a temporary sponge, holding moisture while microbes and worms turned it into humus. By the time it fully broke down, the soil above was looser and richer than before. For gardeners dealing with compacted ground, this is where cardboard shines. Instead of fighting clay with endless digging, burying cardboard creates voids as it decomposes, allowing air and water to circulate. That's how you turn dead, stubborn ground into a living, workable bed without machinery. There were a few surprises worth noting. It wasn't all smooth sailing, and that's part of the lesson, really. In the first few weeks, nitrogen levels near the cardboard dropped slightly. Microbes that were breaking down the carbon-rich layers pulled nitrogen from the surrounding soil to balance themselves. That meant some plants above the cardboard grew a little slower at first, but as the cardboard broke down further, the nitrogen returned, and growth picked up with vigour. The solution here is simple. If you plan to bury cardboard beneath heavy feeders like corn, cabbage or squash, top dress with a little compost or manure to give those crops an extra boost while the microbes do their work. Once the initial stage passes, the soil becomes more fertile than it was before. By the end of the season, that bed stood out from the rest. Plants had stronger roots, the soil was easier to work with, and watering demands dropped noticeably. The cardboard itself had almost vanished, transformed into rich, dark, organic matter. What began as trash had become treasure. The real secret of this method isn't speed, it's longevity. A single round of buried cardboard continues improving the soil for several seasons. And if you repeat the process once or twice a year, you build up layers of fertility that rival what commercial compost or fertilizer could ever provide, all without spending a dime. In many ways, burying cardboard is just a continuation of the frugal, resilient mindset our grandparents lived by. During hard times like the Great Depression and the Second World War, nothing was wasted. Kitchen scraps, ashes, leaves and manure were all cycled back into the soil. Cardboard is today's equivalent of that old resourcefulness. It's readily available, easy to use, and when applied correctly, it serves as both mulch and fertilizer in one. If you think of gardening as part history, part survival skill, then this practice belongs in your toolkit. It proves that modern waste can be turned into a resource as valuable as any bag of store-bought soil conditioner. Burying cardboard in my backyard bed turned skepticism into proof. What looked like waste became a catalyst for healthier soil, stronger plants and less work. The worms loved it, the fungi thrived on it, and the soil itself came alive in ways I couldn't have imagined. It's one of those old meets new tricks that requires almost no effort, yet delivers results you'll see season after season. If you found this guide useful, subscribe to our channel for more experiments rooted in history and survival gardening, and share it with others who are looking for smarter, low-cost ways to revive their soil. The best fertilizer, as our ancestors knew, doesn't come in a bag. Sometimes it's already sitting in your recycling bin.